As I mentioned in my Dune book review, I am visually impaired, so I am limited to listening to the audiobooks of these particular novels. The audio presentation of Dead Witch Walking is presented by Tantor Media. And the packaging is very good on the disc case itself. It's very nicely done. You open it to find these semi-transparent sleeves that hold each disc individually, and you just kind of flip through them to get to whichever disc that you happen to be on. I highly recommend putting these books, if you do get the audiobook on CD, you put them on your computer upon purchasing them, or back them up in some fashion. The reason being, they are expensive to buy. Audiobooks in general are expensive. And I have to replace my copy of Dead Witch Walking already because I've listened to it roughly 5 times, and a few of the discs are not playable now. So I've learned from that to back up my audiobooks on my computer. That said, when you stick your disc in the computer, the way they're made, manufactured, they don't always come up the way they should. In other words, as opposed to for the album title would be on Windows Media Player, so to speak, it will sometimes come up with Dead Witch Walking for, let's say, CD1. CD2 might have Dead Witch Walking Disc 2, it might not. There are some that just come up as unknown album, unknown artist. The one thing I will say about the Kim Harrison books thus far, most of them come up with, at least in the artist section, it says Kim Harrison. So, as I mentioned before in my other book review, what I do is I go through individually and make the titles uniform. As far as disc 1, disc 2, I make sure that they're all identical with the exception of the disc numbers. That way, when I go to read it, nothing is out of order, nothing is unknown or can't be found. And it just takes a little work, but the work is worth it because then you have it perfectly backed up on your computer, which is what I've done. That said, moving on to the actual presentation. The Dead Witch Walking book is read by Marguerite Gavin, and I really love the way she reads this particular novel. I feel that she gives each character their own persona through Rachel's Rachel's mind, basically, because you're reading the book through Rachel's eyes, and Rachel is telling us this story. So it's Rachel's interpretation of how these people sound, how they look, and I really like the way Marguerite Gavin does that and gives the characters each their own sort of life within the story itself, and it really adds a lot, I think, when you're listening to it, to hear the different personas that are done. And Marguerite Gavin does read the entire novel. So that's also a plus. There's continuity, which I also love. The only other gripe I have with the audio CDs is that they are produced by Tantor Media. I have a few books by that were put out by Tantor Media, and the problem I have is they're not professionally manufactured CDs, meaning they're not. You can't flip them over and basically see a shiny side. It's got the bluish tint that a CDR has, a rewritable CDR, a CD that you can put in your computer and put music on yourself. That's basically what these are. And I had one occasion, not with this particular series, but with another series, where I put a Tantor Media disc in, and it registered as a blank disc, and I had to contact Tantor, and they did send me a replacement copy rather promptly. It's just a bit inconvenient to have a CDR with a book on it that you paid a good sum for. You know, you're wanting to have something, I think, a bit more professional. And although the packaging is very professional and the reading is phenomenal, Marguerite, I love her voice. She really is phenomenal reading this book. But then you turn the disc over and you look at it and you're like, oh, geez, it's a CD that I could have just, bought at Walmart or something and made myself if I was able to actually see the book and read it myself. So that's the only problem I have. I would give Dead Witch Walking, the novel itself, a 10 out of 10 as an excellent novel, well written, well presented, and a work of brilliance by Kim Harrison. As I said, it is the first book in the Hollows series. There are many books actually at this point in time. I have a few of them on audio, and I'll be reviewing them as I go along. The audiobook presentation I will give a 8 out of 10. More so for the quality of the actual tangible concrete disc itself. The disc, when you look at it, as I said, you can tell it's not a professionally manufactured disc. It is a CDR. The sound quality is good. You can download the book as an Audible download. I'm not terribly impressed with the Audible download quality. I have sampled it. I prefer the CD, and I prefer to have my bookshelf lined with my books on CD. So that's just me. To each his own. But as I said, an 8 out of 10 for the audiobook. The reading, 10 out of 10. Marguerite does a phenomenal job. And the book, 10 out of 10. Kim Harrison is a phenomenal writer. So cheers to Kim Harrison. Cheers to Marguerite Gavin. And I hope everyone is doing well. I look forward to hearing from any of you. Feel free to contact me with comments, messages if you'd like to discuss this. As I said, I can share my Yahoo ID and add you to my Yahoo gladly, and we could talk. Have a wonderful night, day, wherever you are, however you're watching this, and take care.